To all brethren and sistren. I wish everyone well at peace, and I desire and pray that my words come out sincere, and that whatever they intend to convey, the message is conveyed, and hopefully it is in service to help someone or to show a different perspective or give more options or catalysts. I'm probably going to be a little bit all over the place because there's just some things I desire to share, and I just hope that it helps. I guess I'll start with spirituality. By bloodline, researching my roots, Igbo, Nigeria, I am a Hebrew Israelite of the tribe of Judah. We are finding out that a lot of our brothers and sisters were indigenous to this country. So many places, so many things, so many bloodlines. Right now where I stand, I'm not your average Hebrew brethren. I'm not trying to throw scriptures down your throat, so forth and so on, because in my truth where I am now, Hebrew by bloodline, but I don't follow the religion. The text has its place. The text is our history book, and the text also gave indications of what will come in the future. So all of those things were actually pretty good. I've read other texts. I don't subscribe to any particular doctrine, but one thing that I do know is that the Creator itself is universal. Mathematics, all of those things, universal. And when I look at all of the spiritual books and the things I listen to and the rhetoric and so forth and so on, the one thing that can be concluded is that we are at a new age, and that old constructs are being torn down in order to make for new constructs and covenants and so forth and so on. So we are at the age of enlightenment. We are at the age of knowledge, foretold by many books and prophets. The technology is one thing, but I think about where our people are right now. There is a true enlightenment that is happening across the world. If you haven't paid attention, all eyes are on us so-called African Americans. You even have people in other parts of the world now who actually defend us. Think about how interesting we are. You can go on YouTube and find videos about how other people, what they think about black people. I mean, it is thousands of videos of people giving their opinion and what they think about us. And of course, it's varied, but that doesn't happen to anyone else. So there really is something about us so-called African Americans. And with the age of enlightenment happening right now, it's interesting the steps that seem to have to be taken. Now, I'm not enlightened by any means, but I've been on a path for a while. And I remember the very first step when you really begin to get an inkling of the knowledge is the so-called, quote-unquote, angry black man and angry black woman stage. I went through it. You're pissed off all the time. You're pissed off at white people. You're pissed off at everybody who's oppressed us. And then you're pissed off at your own people because the ones who are still asleep, you're like, what the hell is wrong with you? Wake up, so you're pissed off all the time. And it's interesting that a great deal of people are all going through that at the same time. And of course, that phase shall pass when you get down to wanting to just truly understand truth, see everything for what it is. And that's pretty much where my path is, to see everything for what it is, to pay attention to everything, to be a student. And what it culminates to me is that if you are living by the laws of the Creator, you only need to be in service to others. And being in service is harvesting your gifts, whatever your gift may be, from being a warrior to a healer, to a speaker, to a teacher, an engineer, someone who takes care of the water, all of those things. I really hope that we can get into our convictions and work on our gifts and be in service to one another. And the second thing is to abandon all earthly desires. Very, very, very hard to do, but that is one of the universal laws of the Creator. I won't say that all of the other gods were false, but any of the gods that out of all of them that existed, if they ever desired war or had people to kill or to do things of that nature, they weren't coming from direct orders of the most, well, I won't even say the Most High, because even now that is a title that they give to Yahweh or Jehovah or so forth and so on. But when I'm speaking of the creator, the essence, the thing that was not made in the image of a man, the existing thing, energy, consciousness that we are living and existing and moving and so forth. You know, so all of those gods, some were, you know, good, some were bad, but none of those things are the creator. I digress. That'll go into another video where I begin to speak about my extremely diverse and interesting background of religion and spirituality, and up to the point to where I am now. But I think right now it's important to mend our souls and to get ourselves together. I think that it's very important to, again, hone our gifts and be ready to be in service. Because in my opinion, I'm not the race war, not anything else, but I believe that something is going to happen where we're all going to simply have to learn how to live without conveniences. And unfortunately, the way we are over here, the majority of us will die because we don't have certain conveniences. All I desire is for us to be okay, for us to, again, learn to love ourselves and just share, be a little kinder to each other. Let's build small villages with people that you can get along with. Everyone needs to bring their skills, and we need to learn how to teach our children better. I know all of you have this nagging feeling at the back of your neck that it's time for truth. Again, things are changing. And whatever is about to happen, we're going to need more than materials to make it through. So I digress for now. I love each and every one of you, and it's just time for us to do better. And we need to speak more, but we need to focus what we speak on the love of things and not the negativity. And by the way, yes, white folks, they are also going through the age of enlightenment. They're learning that a lot of the peaches and the roses that they were taught, especially the average, that the stuff that they were taught is simply, not true. They're having to deal with that. And I'm not saying to run and be friends or anything, but what we must do at this time, we must sincerely judge each person by their action. We cannot mass everyone. And truthfully, the way that the media and so many things are shown to us, y'all, believe it or not, racism is not, the normal racism, I hate you nigga, blah, blah. That, it's not even happening like that. Part of the age of enlightenment for white folks is that their children are beginning to call them on their shit. Their children are listening to the cries and the pleas of black folks. Their children. Think about that for a minute. We have to begin to judge everyone individually by their actions. And we must focus on the good things of ourselves, and we can't, give it out. We need to focus on what we have going on and share that gift. So it's with the whole race war thing, the age of enlightenment really stopped this race war because people are just beginning to see. When you look at all the thousands of comments by the trolls on these stations where it's just a white person who intentionally acts a certain way, I really believe it's just about 75 motherfuckers who don't have any time on their hands. And as a matter of fact, you can look it up. They have programs where they pay people to troll. I don't know the specific name of it, but it exists. You can type in enough words and find it. So things are changing.